video, I'm going to show you something that you don't typically see on this channel. Some of you may know I do have a second channel that's an art channel where I show paintings and sculptures and more serious art, if you will. But I haven't been active on that one for about 2.5 years, so I have this painting that I videotaped, and I thought, you know what, instead of going and trying to upload it on a channel that's basically not been done anything with for so long, I'll upload it here. If you guys enjoy this video and you want me to continue to upload those other artsier things on this channel just so that it gets a little bit more, I don't know, exposure, I would love to continue sharing them with you, so please let me know, and I will see you all next time. Bye!
I'm going to begin basing out the background of this painting with a very soft, slightly blended, almost like classic photo background. I start out with a first coat of just a medium gray, and then I'm going to blend in some darker grays and some tan tones, and just very soft background. And you can do anything you want. That's a background that you could also do if you wanted to with a an airbrush, which is sometimes what I tend to do. I do really like using my airbrush. But then for the ottoman, I'm going to take a kind of a, I don't know, taupey beigey color, and I'm going to just coat over that, and I'm going to start the shadows just to kind of get them based in. But then after I've got those shadows started, I'm going to go in with lighter versions of the taupey color and start highlighting this whole thing and just kind of bring some of the shapes in. So at first I just had that base color because I know that my acrylic paint plays nicer over a layer of acrylic paint, and because of all of my sketching that I do in the background, I know a lot of people just apply a single coat of acrylic paint or gesso or something over a whole canvas. It's not really my thing. I like to do multiple layers of acrylic paint over the top of each other in the actual final painting process. If that's not your thing, obviously switch it up. After I've got the ottoman kind of shaped, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to base out the layers for the plaid. After I've got those layers of plaid, this is with very, very diluted acrylic paint in white and black, I'm going to take an insane number of diagonal lines, and I'm going to diagonal line this entire deal. I'm going to diagonal line the plaid as well as just the background taupey color. This is where I'm highlighting, shading, etc. with different shades of those lines. After that, ottoman is blissfully done because it was a little bit more of a process than I expected when I first started out. I'm going to move on to the cat, which is that's my fun part. I like painting the critters. And so I was like, yes, the ottoman's done. I get to paint a furball. So I'm going to grab my shades of like a terracotta orange and some browns and some creams, some golden colors, and I'm going to add a base of color over the top of this kitty cat. His name is Wood, by the way. I'm going to add just all my colors going over the top of him. I did brighten up his tones a little bit from my reference photos that I was given so that he really showed up against those background grays, just so that he's really the focal point. And you look at this painting and you forget about the background, you forget about the ottoman, you look at this beautiful kitty cat's face, you look deep into his eyes, and that is the point. After we've got that first base layer done, you can see it's, lots of paint strokes, very splotchy. That's okay. I'm going to go through and I'm going to add a first stroke over every single speck of this little cat body. I'm going to add all of those details to the face, going over multiple layers. Again, I like to use multiple layers in my paintings. I like to just keep adding more and more and more and adjusting things. I have my palette, I've got all my colors on it, and I rarely use them that are straight from the bottle color. I've got this whole variety and I mix and match and I grab everything that I can. And I'm just going to go through. This brush I'm using is absolutely phenomenal. If anybody is a canvas painter who happens to be watching this, and you want to know what this brush is, first time I used it, and so many times throughout this painting, I had these moments of, oh my goodness, I love this brush. This is the best brush I've ever used. So I will put the name and the brand of it and the size in the description box below, because not this one is just a striper brush, but this brush, this green handled guy, is amazing. So after I've got the face fairly done, I just have black over the eyes just to base them out. I do not like those paintless white eyes staring at me, but I also like to do the eyes last. So just going to kind of fill them in as a placeholder for right now. Don't do the whiskers yet. I did do like the ear hairs and some of those eyebrow whiskers. I'm going to leave the face whiskers. I'm going to do the same process going over the body with these first strokes. When you are going over the face, very small, almost pointillism style strokes is what I like to do because the hair there is so much shorter. And then you start going over the body, you can lengthen your strokes to, it depends on the length of hair that the animal that you're painting has. For a cat that's, a classic short hair cat, lengthen them to 1/4 to 1/2 inch, depending on the area of the body. And then you can just kind of flow them. Make sure that you're paying attention to direction of hair and just blend all of these colors in. The great thing with painting a cat that is a tabby like this is that the stripes give you direction as far as the direction that the fur goes. They give you kind of an idea, and it seems like it shows up more in your reference photos what direction the hair goes, because you can see it on the stripes a little bit better. So that's just kind of a nice little, I don't know, helpful thing if you are new to painting fur. So I've got the 2 little feet there, and I'm going to just kind of add some shading, go over the back. This part of it, it was so sweet. Melody was next to me, and she was coloring in her coloring book almost the entire time I was painting wood. The entire time I was working on this cat, we were, artsing right next to each other, and it was just too sweet. It was just too good. It was too good. But anyways, we're gonna go back to this kitty cat. Keep adding all of those stripes, all of that texture, all the way down. As you are getting towards the tail, the fur texture will change direction a little bit. And there's also right in that middle area, because the cat is curled, he's in the cat donut shape, at least somewhat. You got to bring all of that fur texture towards that central point. Imagine that area between the elbow and knee, right in the middle, as this central point. And you have to try to tuck all of this fur, bring it into each other. He's got some nice fur wrinkles happening. Pay attention to all of that as you are adding this fur texture, because the fur texture is what is going to define shape. And that's what you're doing. I always think of painting probably maybe different. Maybe it's the way that other painters and other artists think of painting. But I always think of painting as sculpting flat. You're sculpting an image. You're pushing things in, you're bringing it out, you're sculpting in the wrinkles, you're making shape. And maybe that's because I sculpt more often than I just paint. But that's my thought process when I'm working on this. So I'm sculpting those wrinkles in towards each other. I'm sculpting that knee higher than I'm sculpting the elbow. It's all about, making shape, and it happens to be flat in this circumstance, but that's still how my brain thinks about it. And so sometimes when I'm teaching a little class on different things, I'll speak in that manner. And if nobody thought about it that way and it helps you, that is amazing. I also wanted to mention, if anybody is interested in more detailed pieces of this piece of art, if you want me to go through and do a very specific fur painting, and you want me to just focus in on a specific area of the body and go in depth on the fur, I still have all of this footage, and I will keep it for a little while. And if I get requests, I will happily do that. And we'll just kind of take an in-depth pie slice of this painting and do some more specific conversations. If you'd like that, please let me know. Otherwise, after you've got the body all furred out, we're going to take white and add the whiskers and add little bits of white all over his furry little body. And then with very beautiful sage greens, I'm going to be painting in his eye color, highlighting that, brightening it, add some reflections across the eyes. I'm going to bring in just a touch of blue into the reflections on the eyes. That will actually bring out the gray in the background, and it'll make his orange a little more intense with that just tiniest hint of blue on the eyes and the reflections. I hope you guys love this painting. I know the recipient is absolutely in love with it. It was a birthday gift for her. I love painting animals, and if you guys are interested in this type of video besides just the nails, also let me know. I usually would put this on my art channel, but I've kind of been absent from that channel for quite a while, so I decided to stick it on here instead. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye!